The All Progressive Congress Campaign Council says the absence of its presidential candidate Bola Tinubu at the Arise Town Hall series was due to a clash with other engagements and that its candidate will not attend town halls or debate organized by single media houses. The Campaign Council clarification is coming on the wake of Tinubu's absence at the town hall meeting where he had been invited alongside other candidates. Tinubu's counterpart in People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, who was also absent, was however represented by his running mate, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State. The town hall, which was aired live on the Rise News channel, was meant to allow Nigerians ascertain which candidate and political party possess the best ideas for bringing lasting solutions to the country's challenges. The series is set to continue with other presidential candidates. Reacting to the APC's absence, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, says the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his running mate, Kashim Shettima, are running away from national debates for the fear of facing probing questions from Nigerians. In a statement released by the spokesperson at Atiku Abubakar campaign organization, Kola Olugbodinyo, Tinubu has a record of avoiding public debates and public interrogations following a mortal fear that Nigerians will put him to task. Olugbodinyo recalls that the APC presidential candidate did not attend the signing of the National Peace Accord in Abuja and also failed to turn up at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industries with other candidates and avoided Nigerian Bar Association conference. Meanwhile, the Director General of the Obidati campaign organization, Dr. Donyo Kupe, says Labour Party's presidential candidate Peter Obi will no longer show up for debates if other party candidates do not show up. While speaking at a press conference in Abuja, Okupe said Obi will no longer debate with surrogates or running mates and will decline any debate even at the last minute should other presidential candidates fail to show up.
Are we saying that we will not debate if other candidates do not show up? Yes, we will not. We are setting, we are setting the standard and the record straight. We are the ones that are coming to change the system. We cannot participate in a subversion of the system. That will be, totally contradicting our position of creating a new Nigeria. If anybody wants to organize a debate and he wants to bring people from the street, we will not be part of it. Whatever you say, if it's agreeable to us and we all agree, we will keep to it and we will stand by it. But you don't change the rules and, just anything, it doesn't matter now. It's a joint ticket. No. You watch American debates. You watch European debates. If it is prime ministers, it is prime ministers. If it is president, it is president. If it is VP, it is VP. We must start to do things properly from somewhere. And we think it is now.
Let's talk about Dr. Matthew.
Well, the first thing to note is that all of these reactions will seem to be a confirmation of the success, the impact, the influence of the presidential town hall series that was started by Arise Television in collaboration with the Center for Democracy and Development and other stakeholders, including Premium Times, the Cable, the Guardian, the Nigerian Guild of Editors, the National Union of Journalists, and others on Sunday. That's a few days ago. And since then, there have been reactions. One paper today, took, reactions from a number of observers and persons who, disclosed that one, it was a very successful, high-impact event. And secondly, the various respondents also made the point that it is important that presidential candidates, those seeking offices, make themselves available for these debates. And also thirdly, those who have commented on the event also try to set agenda, for presidential candidates going forward in terms of focus on security, economy. But what is clear from the various reactions, either from the political parties or those, who witnessed the event or watched it on all platforms, is that this is truly a political season. People are very emotional, and people are likely to react on the basis of their own choice. And you have persons pushing, the interest of their own candidates from their own standpoint, and which is likely a confirmation of the fact that this 2023 election it's likely to be an election like no other because the stakes are high, passions are building up, but that's in terms of general reaction from the public. Now to the political parties. Let's start with Dr. Donye Okukwe, the Director General of the Obidati Campaign Organization. Well, I don't want to go into the details of what transpired, having been the moderator of that town hall series, so that I don't get misinterpreted. But what Dr. Okukwe is saying simply is that against the background of what happened at that event, that their candidate going forward will not attend any event where surrogates are in attendance and the principals are not there. He made that very clear. So that's the position of their party, and he has explained it. He thinks, he believes, like some other people, that any parley with presidential candidates must be, on equal footing, equal to equal. And he says he rejects the argument that it is a joint ticket, a single ticket, even if, within the purview of the Constitution conceives of a race between the deputy governor and the governor as a joint ticket, between the president and the vice president as a joint ticket. Now, second, the APC, whose candidate was absent at that event, has also now said their candidate is very busy and that he has received requests from virtually every radio network, every media house, and that he wants to be fair to all. So he's not likely to be selective, and as a result, their candidate, categorically, this is what they seem to be saying, that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not going to attend any debate or town hall meeting organized by third parties. And in the statement by Festus Keyamo, he made it clear that, well, they had a meeting with the business community in Kano. They had another interaction with the business community in Lagos. And that, yesterday they also had an interactive session with the agro community in Niger State. Now, these are events organized by the APC itself. And Keyamo pointed out in the statement that, the party will organize more grassroots interactions, town hall meetings, and all of that. Well, what you can take from all of that is that the party, APC, wants to control the engagement of their candidate with the public. They want to be, the ones in charge. They want to be in charge of their own processes. Well, hence, that has prompted the People's Democratic Party spokespersons, Ologbondinyo, and also Frank Shaibo, Special Assistant Public Communications, in two separate statements to say that, look, the APC is trying to hide, that the APC is trying to run away because they don't want their candidates to be interrogated. So this is the position taken. However, the whole idea of interacting with the public, the whole idea of having debates or town hall meetings, the same principle is that same principles that bankers talk about. Know your customer. The KYC here is know your candidate. And I think that, the political parties should not hide under excuses, any excuse whatsoever, to avoid any opportunity to engage with the Nigerian public. If they control their own communication, they set up their own systems, the impression may be given that they are running away from engaging with others. And in a lot of these conversations, major concern has been about Atiku and Tinubu not wanting to attend debates. It's good for them to attend these debates, even organized by other platforms, so that their ideas can be interrogated. And it's important that they do not give the impression that they do not want to engage with the public. Now that other political parties are saying, if the principals are not there, then they will not come because they are running for the position of president. They are not running for position of vice president. So why don't they have peer-to-peer interaction? There must be some strong logic to that, I think.
I think to a great extent, any candidate that doesn't come for debates disrespect the Nigerian people. And I think the Nigerian people for themselves must know what they want and stop politicians insulting them. The Nigerian people did not beg any of the presidential candidates to come out to run for president. If you want to be president of Nigeria, you must attend every engagement possible to prove that. All the arguments about who will control our own narrative is just smirks of not wanting to appear before the Nigerian people and debate your ideas. And it's time Nigerians call a stop to all of this. Because we've seen it in many election cycles, where people will not come and debate, and in the end they know, yes, they will even argue with you that debate does not bring out the votes in the end. But it's a level of accountability to the people. This disrespect must stop. And I keep telling people that people that cannot respect you enough to debate in front of you will not respect you where they get the power they seek from you. And when it gets to that point, you will call on them. Please, do not fault them for not responding to you, because they have shown you that they don't respect you enough to debate you in front of you. What is democracy? Apart from being government of the majority, demokratia from its Greek origins, it is also a celebration of ideas. And candidates should be bullish about espousing their ideas. In fact, candidates should be seeking platforms, many platforms, to expand their ideas. The Yorubas have a saying that if you are confident of your medicine, you used to hit your head, literally, you used to hit your chest. That's what the Yorubas say. So if your ideas, plans, and manifestos are good enough for you, you should be able to debate them in any circumstance possible and respect the people you seek their votes. So anybody that says we can't debate does not respect the Nigerian people. And when in the end, when leaders emerge and they don't respect your opinions, remember that signs were shown. And I think the Donyo Okupe, presidential spokesperson of Obi, I think it's not a fair thing to say to Nigerians. I think he should apologize to Nigerians for saying that Obi will not respect any more debates. Obi is not there to debate other candidates. He's there to debate for the Nigerian people who seek their votes. And I think it's not fair to insult Nigerians by saying because other candidates do not come up, I will not debate. It is the Nigerian people that are watching. And let the Nigerian people make their own choices. But it is for you as a candidate to go in front of them to debate. This process is one like never before. Let us try as much as possible to ensure that we have politicians respect the wishes of our people. Because in the end, it is the same Nigerian people that they are running away from in debates now that they will seek to govern in February 2023. Let the debates begin. I would like to congratulate Arise TV, especially for leading the charge on engagements. It was indeed a great job by Arise trying to bring people together to debate. I also like to thank all of our partners that made it possible. There. Because engagements, constant debates are the hallmark of every democracy. Thank you.
The only caveat here, though, is that the parties can hide under the fact that it's not constitutionally mandated. The Constitution does not say you must debate, not even in the United States. But it's a convention that has become very useful as part of the process of knowing the candidates. The Americans didn't start their first debate until 1956, 1960, but it's become part of the democratic culture.
But we must ensure that accountability is the order of the day. Even if it's not constitutional, it is sensible to do. The year 2022 for many residents and farmers in Jigawa State will remain unforgettable, one that has brought untold losses to them and rendered many homeless. This follows high rainfall in the state that has led to the death of their loved one and destruction of properties, estimated at billions of naira, as the residents begins to adapt to a new life brought about by flood. Arise correspondent Ayo and in there visits some of the affected areas and files in this report.
Jigawa State, northwest Nigeria, with a landmass of 23,154 kilometers per square meters and spread across 27 local government areas, is adjudged to be the worst hit state by the recent flood across Nigeria. This is according to the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Sadia Farouk. We set out to Jigawa State to ascertain the level of the damage caused by the flood. The first point of contact is Auyo local government area. The people of Auyo are known for rice farming. The devastating effect of the flood is visible, though some parts of the lands have dried up due to the nature of the lands in northern Nigeria. The flood that ravaged the state destroyed farmlands, rendered many people homeless, and cut off power supply to thousands of homes and other buildings. The people said they have never experienced such magnitude of flood.
The flood in our local government is very worst because the communities in our local government, there are about 224 communities that are affected the flood.
The situation is very critical in our local government because during the flood, most of the households have left their houses. They become homeless due to the submerge of the water. It affected majority of the households. Apart from the other infrastructure like electricity, water supply, houses, schools, and other have been affected by the water. I want to appeal to the federal government to come to assistance of the people as well as the donor agencies.
Here at Galadimawa in Auyo local government area of Jigawa State, we met with some of the victims of the flood who explained to us the devastating effect of the flood in the community. Around here where we stay are houses, but what remains of it is what you can see. Displaced persons in this local government said they are yet to receive support from the government. Garbat Nansauki is one of them. He narrates how his farmland and house were washed away by the flood. He said they now sleep outside with their children, but is making efforts to have a temporary tent using plant stem.
Due to the flood, we no longer have houses, no food, no farmlands. We need the help of the government.
The story is the same with Abdulwahab Katingi, who said this is the fourth time they have been displaced by flood with no help coming their way. He said government officials have visited them many times with a promise to address their plight, but they are yet to receive their pledges.
We have solicited help several times from the government. They came here to assess the place, but they are yet to respond.
In Jiahu, Taura, and Ringim local government areas, the water is gradually receding as residents battle with the situation. Schools, farmlands submerged underwater, children forced to sit at home while some play inside the water. Abdullahi Musa is a rice farmer who is already counting his losses. We found him inside his rice farm, now flooded with water. He is seeking for fish for what he can sell as a means of survival. He said the flood came at a time they were preparing for harvest.
This is our rice farmland. We were here preparing for harvest before the flood came to destroy the farmland. We have lost everything to the flood.
This is a vast land for rice cultivation, but as you can see, everywhere is submerged by water. The farmers are already counting their losses. Displaced persons relocated by the state government to temporary buildings in Duse and Ringim local government areas say there is no place like home. They call on the government for urgent support.
Even now, the people just made temporary tents, which is even difficult for them to sleep in. This place is overcrowded. The challenge here is much. You can't compare here with our homes. We struggle to get drinking water here.
Back to Duse, the state capital. Commercial activities are running smoothly as the capital was spared by the flood. The State Commissioner of Information, Bala Ibrahim, confirmed the death of 134 persons and said goods worth 1.5 trillion naira were lost to the flood that affected 22 local government areas out of the 27 local government areas in the state. He said the government has already set up a committee to address the challenge.
We have 27 local governments in all, and about 22 are affected, are seriously affected. We lost so far around 134 lives were lost, and you know what it means to lose a life. We lost property worth millions of naira, billions in fact of naira. It was estimated that we lost about 1.5 trillion worth of property, that is farmlands, houses, and so on and so forth.
On whether Jigawa is the worst hit state by the flood, Chairman of the Flood Assessment Committee in Jigawa, Bashir Dalhatu, said they agree with the judgment of the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. Dalhatu regrets that people are politicizing the flood situation and wish Jigawa never had such experience.
I think this is the first time I am hearing that there is even dispute as to the worst hit state. We in Jigawa believe that we have been the worst hit, and the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs has all the expertise and the experts in her ministry who can assess and determine the worst hit, and we have not had anybody disputing that. Unfortunately, for people who are not aware of our kind of environment here, when flood comes, it comes very, very, very heavily, and it goes away with so many of our well-being here. It takes life, takes farmlands, farm produce, houses, offices, schools, hospitals. So this is not a competition of where it is hit most. We wish we are not even hit at all, so that we do not even come into public debate.
With the rainy season now over in this part of the country, the people of the state can only pray and hope that necessary measures will be taken by all parties to prevent another flood disaster next year. Ayo Adinaye, Arise News.
All right, so for more on Jigawa flooding, we're now being joined by Arise correspondent Ayo Adinaye. Adinaye, give us an on-the-spot assessment. What's going on in Jigawa and what's the impact like?
All right, good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Dr. Ruben. It's a pleasure morning here. All right, just as you've seen from your screen there, we were in Jigawa State to assess the level of damage caused here. And even though the residents there wished we have visited earlier than now. In fact, some of them were so angry that why we were not here a month ago to actually see the level of the flood, because some of the parts we visited, the water is gradually receding, and especially places like Auyu. We were also in Hadija, and we went to some parts of Guru, which are worst hit also. But we discovered that the water gradually, the places are becoming dry, owing to the land, the nature of northern Nigeria, especially places like Jigawa and Kano. When there is rainfall, you discover that when they have rainfall, even when you visited the place, sometimes you discover that the whole place has become dry. And you ask yourself if truly there was a rainfall actually here. But based on what we saw and the interaction that we have with some of the locals here, they confirmed to us that some of them lost loved ones, properties, worth trillions of naira, according to the Commissioner for Information, was also lost. And we could see the devastating effect of the flood, the power supply were all called. The children can go to their schools, and in fact, just on your screen, the man you are seeing there, this is actually his rice farm, and the whole place had been submerged by water. So we met him there. He just came to see that if he can catch some little fish from there, so that the farm will just be away. So based on what we saw, it's actually a terrible situation in Jigawa State. And of the 27 local governments, 22 local governments will be affected by this flood.
Okay, Ayo, you spoke to the people. They said that government has not provided any help, no support. It's been about 2 months since the people of Jigawa have been dealing with this crisis, this challenge. But the Commissioner for Information, whom you spoke to, said government has set up a committee. Did you try to find out when that committee will finish its work? Because the sitting has been going on for 2 months. So when are they going to get the help that the people need to them? After the flood has completely receded, is this a committee that will submit its report next year? Do you have any ideas?
Yes, sir. The commissioner told us that 2 committees were set up. One is the assessment flood committee, which was given 6 weeks to bring back their report. And the committee told us, which the chairman is Dalhatu, told us that they've spent 3 weeks so far. And the last 3 weeks, they have been visiting the various local governments to assess the level of the damage, which in the next 3 weeks, they're expected to file in what they find out. The other committee was also given 3 months, or the other committee, 3 months was given to them to assess the level of the damage. But in our local government where we visited, just like you said, the people told us that they've been experiencing this perennial flood. And in fact, this is the 4th time that they are being sacked from their community. And for now, one of them told us that the government officials have visited them at every time when there is flood. They visit them, they assess the area to see what they can do. But that is just the end of it. They are just hoping that this particular time, the story will change and help will come out there. But in our local government, that is what we have them, that they've not received any support. And we saw the children, the people told us how they have to sleep outside and that during the day, it's still even more friendly for them. But when it comes to night, the place is already gets cold and their children fall sick, suffering from different epidemic, which they called for government intervention. For now, they are yet to receive any support in that particular area. But the commissioner told us that they've been able to do the little they can in other local governments. Some places of the state where it was hit, they've been able to move some people to IDP camps where they are staying, and some of them just have to survive on their own while waiting for more government support.
Well, thank you very much, Ayo. Thank you. Hopefully, the people will get the help that they need.
All right. Foremost lubricant giant, Seahorse Limited, has won the 2022 synthetic motor engine oil brand the world. Musumola Ogeoluwa was at the event, and this is the report.
Seahorse Lubricant Industries Limited, an indigenous manufacturer of lubricating oil for internal combustion engines and mechanical systems, has once again bagged another award for its quality product.
This institute is not after how many high-rising buildings you have, how many cars you have, how many whatever material you have, but they are interested in the quality of your goods and services. That is what moves them. Because if it is about high-rising buildings, exotic cars, maybe some of us may not fall in the category of the winners of this award.
Seahorse Lubricant Industries Limited.
The award, which was given by the Institute of Oil and Gas Research and Hydrocarbon Studies, recognizes Seahorse Lubricant as the winner of the 2022 synthetic motor engine oil brand.
I feel elated because it has not been easy for a young company like Seahorse Industries Limited to win this award today, the best synthetic engine oil in Nigeria. So I'm happy, and I thank my team of staff who contributed to this great achievement. This synthetic oil is mostly for modern cars. It's not for 1990, 19 whatever cars. It's for millennium cars. So that's why we have conquered the mineral oil. Today we are in synthetic because we know that the synthetic is the way to go. So synthetic is for mostly millennium cars, new cars,
The head of research of the institute, Dr. Ade Ekundayo, confirmed that Seahorse lubricant was selected among other numerous brands based on its ability to produce lubricants with good quality that matches international standards.
We tested several engine oils across the board, and we saw that Seahorse has the highest grade that is possible within our context, and that's why we give them the award. A product like Seahorse, I'm sure the MD and owner knows how to get into the international community, whether ECOWAS or probably the larger markets in the world. It is contestable. It can stand its ground against the so-called best ISQ from America.
Good name is better than gold and silver. So it is our driving force is the quality of our products. So that's why we are more concentrated in the quality than the profit, because we know that with the quality, when everybody knows the quality of the product, whatever you lose today, you are going to gain it tomorrow. We are not deterred by the challenge we had in 2015, which gave birth to construction of the blending plant in Nigeria. I was importing the engine oil before when the challenge came up in 2015, but that didn't deter us. We planned and forged ahead. Today we have a multi-billion naira blending plant in Nigeria, and which has given us room to employ many Nigerians. This one is 5W30. There is also 5W20 and 0W20. We have all, and we have Seahorse 1 has emerged the best in all. They should go for Seahorse 1 synthetic oil, because it's not for nothing that this Institute of Oil and Gas and Hydrocarbon Studies awarded this best quality awards to Seahorse today. Is because it has been tested and trusted. Seahorse oil in all categories has been tested and trusted, and I believe any person that needs value for his or her money should go for Seahorse, because the standard, the quality and everything is tested and trusted. So I'm advising all our customers that the best oil for them to use for their cars is synthetic Seahorse 1 synthetic oil.
While receiving the award, the chairman and CEO of Seahorse Lubricant Industries Limited noted that the honor will enable the company to strive to maintain standards that it set in the oil sector.